Hi, my name is Lisa Ballback. I'm the instructor for CIT228, Advanced Database Systems. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview of how the course is set up. And you'll notice at the top, I actually created this wonderful graphic with basically server-side app programs and databases and all that kind of fun stuff. All sorts of little goodies hidden in there. And then below that are buttons that take you to different resource sites that I thought may be useful for you. Below that is a link to the live stream class and also my office hours. So for this class, you can take it live stream or online. The majority of you took it online. The live stream class is extremely small. However, if any of the onliners would like to pop into the live stream class to listen or ask a question, you are more than welcome to attend. The live stream class is Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 3. Typically on Tuesday, I do more lecture. Thursday is more of a lab. Because the class is so small, we're going to have to discuss how we're going to handle that this semester. But all of the assignments are the same, whether you're in live stream or online. The discussion forums that we have are for both groups of students. You will see each other's posts, and pretty much everything else in the course is the same. Below the live stream link are links to our social media, and we tend to post job openings, internship opportunities, and any kind of social event to our social media. So you're definitely going to want to follow one of those so you can stay informed. Below that is news and announcements from me, and I post to the announcements after I have corrected your work for the week. Once you see that announcement, and I post it here, but it will come through your email, your NMC email. What you're going to want to do is come into class, go into your dashboard, and check your grades. And you'll see your grade and then the range for scores, and you'll see some feedback. If you don't get 100%, so if you got something wrong, if you look at the feedback, it'll explain what the problem is and it will tell you how to fix it. And you can resubmit that assignment one time and I will rescore it for you. And the reason I allow students to do this is that when you make a mistake, I look at it as an opportunity to learn. And you can learn a lot by correcting your mistakes. So in this class, a mistake is not a bad thing. It is an opportunity to learn. And if you correct that mistake and resubmit it, then I will rescore it for you and you can get those points back. Another reason to check your scores is sometimes people miss assignments or they might miss a quiz and you will see a 0. If that happens to you, you need to get a hold of me and make up that work as quickly as possible. I'm pretty good about letting students make things up. You just need to communicate with me. Below my discussion forum is a student discussion forum, and this is for you to share information. So maybe you found a really cool reference site or you've been working on a problem and you figured it out, something that you want to share with your peers, you can post it to the student discussion. If you are having a problem with an assignment or if you have a question about an assignment, it is better to email me. Okay, that's not the kind of thing that you should post to the student forum, but if it's anything about a reference or maybe you want to share how you solved a problem, those types of things are awesome. And you definitely should post those to the student forum. Then below that, we actually have several lesson blocks. I never show them all at the beginning of the semester because it tends to freak people out. So I only open a couple at a time. But what you'll notice is they all have dates. And so you should try to stick with the dates that are posted because all of the assignments have due dates. And if you open up these blocks, it will tell you right at the top when the assignments are due. And it also shows you what we are covering that week. Okay, so all of the blocks are pretty much set up the same. And you will notice that the first month of this class, we zip through the book pretty rapidly because you've all had some programming background prior to this class. And so it's just a matter of your learning Python because Python is the language that we are using this semester in this class. Our advisory board wanted us to teach Python. And so you are going to be learning that this semester. So we spend the first month covering Python basics, and then we have 3 projects that we work on. And the projects give you kind of an idea of the 3 different ways that Python is used. So the first project, I think you guys will enjoy because it is a game. So you are going to code up a game. The second project deals with data analytics, and Python is huge in this area. So that is the second project. And then the third project is server-side web programming, where you will be interfacing with a database. And that one is going to take probably the most time. We've allotted a month for that particular project. And we are doing that one last. So that's kind of how the course is laid out. So you will be working on different lessons each week. And as I mentioned, the information that you're going to be completing is posted at the top. It is also in the course assignment schedule. So the course assignment schedule is part of the syllabus. And if you open that up, you will notice that everything that is in here is organized by lesson. It all has due dates. And as you can see, the first month, we are basically covering all of the Python information because you have to know how to code in Python in order to create these awesome projects that we're going to be working on. So after lesson 4, that is when we get into working on these projects. So I would print this out because as you are working on a lesson, when you complete things, if you print it, you can actually cross the item off. And that's a good way to stay on track in this class. The syllabus basically indicates how you will be graded. The information at the top is office hour information. This same information is located in the instructor block, which is at the top of the course. So everything that you see in here is also in the syllabus. The syllabus does include the required textbook, and then we get into required software. Now, the textbook is recommending Sublime for the editor, and I did consider using that. However, the version that you download is a trial version, which means after a certain number of days, which normally in most trials it's 30 days, they expect you to pay for it. We can code Python in VS Code without any problems. There's a Python extension. It works great. So we will be using VS Code. If we run into something that doesn't work well in VS Code, we may switch over to Sublime for that particular unit. But so far, everything that I have worked with works just fine in VS Code. And as you all know, VS Code is free, and it is something that you guys are used to using already. We are also going to be using GitHub. So that is how you are going to be submitting your assignments. And for those of you who are moaning and groaning, in the first assignment, I do walk you through how to set this up. And for each assignment after that, there will be a video showing you how to upload those files. Okay, it's not difficult to do. There are just several steps. So it's just a matter of kind of memorizing those steps and installing the right extensions in VS Code. And I will help you do all of that. Below that is our outcomes, educational outcomes for the course. So we do assess critical thinking in this class. And then here are the other learning outcomes. And the way that we assess those outcomes is typically discussion, assignments, term projects, or exams. The grading scale shows how many points are in the course. We have 1,000. And then the breakdown of those points as far as grades. So 950 to 1,000 points, which is 95 to 100%, that is a 4.0. 90 to 94%, which is 900 to 949 points, is a 3.5. Okay, so your goal in this class is to get as many points as possible. And the way you get points is you complete the assignments. Okay, you complete the tests, you complete all of our discussion, and you do the term project. So the term project kind of corresponds to those 3 major projects that we have in this course. So we are going to go through the game project that's in the book. Then milestone 1 is going to be you guys create a similar project. Milestone 2 is data analytics. We go through that project in the book, and then you do your own data analytics. And then milestone 3 involves server-side web programming. We go through what's in the book, and then you do your own. Okay, so that is basically what that term project is. It's those 3 milestones combined. And after each milestone, you will be sharing that with the class. And so you will basically do a little video talking about how you designed it, coding issues that came up, how you overcame the coding issues, what you learned, what you thought you did well, what you'd like to improve on, that type of thing. And you will share that with the class, and then we will do peer reviews. And we will do that for each of the milestones. We will also have some additional discussion topics that you will be required to complete. They are worth quite a few points. So definitely want to make sure you do all of the discussions in here. Then we have a professional development requirement. And the PD requirement isn't worth all that many points. It's only 50 points. But in this class, you will be doing research on your own. When you are working on those milestones, something doesn't work, or maybe there's something that you'd like to incorporate, you'll be kind of going off on your own and figuring that out. And that is where professional development comes in, because any time you spend doing that, if you tell me how much time you spent and where you did the research, you actually get points for doing that. In addition to all of that, we also have a MTA exam, and that is kind of grouped here with the 2 tests. So basically we have a midterm, and we have the MTA exam, which is the final. So the midterm is the first 11 chapters. So that's on your Python basics. And the MTA exam is a Intro to Python programming exam, and that will be your final exam. So that is where you get points in this class. And the section below here basically explains everything that I just told you. And I will let you read through the rest of this. You will notice at the very top of the course, there is a block for professional development. The date range is the entire semester, but it is due by the end of the semester. But if you click on this link, whoops, looks like I have to add it. Hold on a second here. All right, here it is. And it will be there for you guys. The social network and professional development requirements, basically at the top, it's got different activities, how many points you get. What you guys really need to pay attention to is this table down at the bottom, because the number of hours that you spend on something determines how many points. The maximum points you can get for this is 50. And so what you need to submit to me, and you can do this in one box or multiple boxes, okay, is what the activity was, how much time you spent on it. And that time factor is super important because that determines how many points. And then what you learned, a very short summary of what you learned, okay? And so these are the drop boxes for that. Once you hit 50 points, you're done with professional development and networking. Now, can you go to online webinars? Can you go to online meetings? Yes, those all count. Okay, it's just a matter of coming in here and submitting what you did. So those are the syllabus and the course requirements. If you have not seen the college syllabus, you do need to take a look at it because those are college requirements that you need to be aware of. They are the same for every single course. The campus safety video, if you are on campus at all, you need to look at that. You also should look at it for Title IX and the alcohol policy. That brings me down to our first assignments. We have two orientation assignments. One is the student profile glossary. And if you click on this, you will notice that the instructions are right here. And I believe I've already done this, but all you have to do is click on add a new entry, key in your first and last name, expand this out, add an image, and chances are you are going to have to upload one. So find an image of yourself. Chances are when you upload this, it's going to be too big. So you are going to need to adjust the width. It should be 150 or 200. Keep auto size on, and then it will be the appropriate size. Okay, and then below that, what I want is either a sentence describing you, or you can put in a quote, okay, or you can add hashtags that are descriptive of who you are. And you'll notice that I did one already. That is my little granddaughter with me. And I used a quote and I used some hashtags. Now, where this is going to show up is over in the sidebar. So if I go back to our main course page, Each time you enter the course, you will see a different student displayed here. And if you refresh, it will change the student picture. Okay, right now there is only one, which is me. But as more of you add, you will see other people here instead of just me. The other assignment is the discussion forum. Now, both the profile and the discussion forum are worth points. The discussion forum, you are going to share more information about yourself. So if you have a nickname, what your interests and hobbies are, what your major is, and any other additional information you're comfortable sharing, please share with the class. I took this as an opportunity to share some information about my background. So I actually started teaching in 1990. Prior to that, I was a programmer analyst for 5 years. So I talk about what my work experience was and why I made the move into teaching. I also kind of discuss the different types of courses that I have taught. So I use this as an opportunity to share some of that information with you. Do you have to share all of that information? Not if you don't want to. You only share what you are comfortable sharing. So the discussion and the student profile are both assignments worth points. Once you finish those, then you are going to move on to our first chapter, or actually chapter 2 in the book. So you're going to read through the chapter in the book, and then you are going to work through the lecture demo. Your lab assignment is embedded in the lecture demo. So you'll read a section and then you'll come to a hands-on. This is your lab assignment. Okay, so you will complete this as part of the lab assignment. And you'll notice that there are videos that will walk you through how to do all of this. And the first hands-on is basically setting up your system, checking for Python on your computer. If you don't have it, downloading and installing, adding the extensions that you need to VS Code, and then creating a course folder, creating a little file, and making sure everything works. Okay, so that is the first hands-on. And each little section has a video that walks you through it. Then we get into kind of different programming modes in Python, and you will see a video that actually talks about the modes and shows you how they're used. And then we get into a hands-on, which you need to complete because it's part of your lab assignment. Okay, and then there is a video for that as well. So this is actually doing a little program in VS Code. And then we execute it using the command prompt. So you'll get a little bit more practice with that. Okay, and you'll notice that it kind of continues throughout this document where we talk about something and then there's a hands-on where you do it. At the very bottom, after your last hands-on activity, this is where you are instructed to upload to GitHub. So there is a video that walks you through this, but there's an extension that you have to install. If you've never uploaded to GitHub from VS Code, you're probably going to have to download GitHub and install that as well. And so all of this walks you through how to do it. There's a video you can watch, there's the written instructions, and by the end, you will have a CIT228 folder with your lesson 1 folder inside on GitHub. And your lesson 1 folder will contain these files. They will all be on GitHub. If you run into any problems doing this, you have problems, you have questions, reach out, send me an email, and I will help you. We want to get this set up correctly. We want to get this procedure down the very first week so you do not have any problems turning in work this semester. Okay, so what you're going to put in the Dropbox is the URL for your GitHub repository. So I do have a repository out here. Mine is private. You guys need to make sure yours is public because I need to see it. But mine is private. Here it is. When you are done, you will have something that looks like this, and you will have a lesson 1 folder, and you will have the required files in it. And so what you need to do is click on this and press Control-C. That will copy it. And then you'll come into the Dropbox, add the submission, come down here, and you will Control and the letter V, paste that in here so that I can correct your work. That is what you need to submit. Now, to make this a link, it's actually helpful if you highlight and click on the link. Paste it in here. That's super helpful because then that's a link that I can click on. So that is your lab assignment. And it is designed to get you familiar with working with Python in VS Code and uploading to GitHub. Software that you need, if you don't have VS Code, I do have a download for it here. Part of your install procedure in Hands-On 1 is going to be to download and install Python. You'll first check to see if you have it installed, but I did include a link to that as well. Additional resources, I know some of you are fuzzy on GitHub, so I did include a link to a Git tutorial and an ebook. This is actually a pretty awesome little ebook and it is free, so you may want to download that. And that is lesson 1. So if you run into problems or if you have questions, please let me know. I think you guys will really enjoy working with Python. It is fun. And I want you guys to have fun with the class. So let me know if you have any problems and have a great week. I look forward to working with all of you.